Tariffs on India by the US are the highest in the world. The effective tariff rate is 34%. Tariffs on our ASEAN competitors are 16%, which means we're at a competitive disadvantage. A lot of Indian businessmen will say, we won't invest in India because it's very hard to compete with cheap Chinese imports.
Why you actually believe a falling rupee is not such a bad thing?
Thank you, Rajdeep. Good evening. Good to be here. Number one, we should not conflate a strong currency for a strong economy. In fact, what history has taught us is countries that have grown very rapidly have often done so and been able to drive export growth by keeping their currencies relatively undervalued. Why is that? Because when a currency depreciates, what happens? Your exports become more competitive. You can drive stronger export growth, number one. Your imports become more expensive, and therefore you give a better chance to your import competitors at home. So in a way, a weaker currency is helping your manufacturing sector both on the export front and on the import front, right? Number one. Number two, the current context really matters over here, right? Think of what's happening at the moment. Tariffs on India by the US are the highest in the world. The effective tariff rate is 34%. Tariffs on our ASEAN competitors are 16%, which means we're at a competitive disadvantage. If the rupee were to weaken to try and bridge some of that gap, we're actually helping offset some of that adverse tariff differential and giving our exporters the best possible chance. Number three, I think the big threat to emerging markets in the coming years is all this massive excess capacity in China. With the US putting on tariffs on China, what is China doing? It's redirecting this excess capacity to all over the world, Asia, India. India's bilateral trade deficit with China is 3% of GDP. Now, a lot of Indian businessmen will say, we won't invest in India because it's very hard to compete with cheap Chinese imports. So when you have, calibrated depreciation, again, you're making those Chinese imports a little bit more expensive and giving Indian domestic substitutes a better chance. So I think, we really should not confuse a strong currency for a strong economy and likewise a weak currency for a weak economy. The final thing I'll say, Rajdeep, is, this notion of the rupee is made a lifetime high. Every day when I get older, my age is at a lifetime high, right? Every day. And so looking at levels is sometimes very deceptive. India's inflation rate historically has been 4 to 5%. Global inflation has been 2%. To maintain our external competitiveness, a 3, 4, 5% rupee depreciation is par for the course and should not be alarming at all.